I can't hear. Welcome everybody out there in YouTube land to round 9 of the Tasmanian Rugby Union, our impromptu match change this week. Unfortunately unable to bring you the scheduled match from Devonport due to basically the weather forecast up there and potential problems with dealing with wind and rain. So fortunately we've got a backup plan, which is this match today between Harlequins on your screen and the University team, who are already awaiting in the middle of the pitch. It's the 90th anniversary of the first match between these two clubs. It's billed as the beginning of the Tasmanian Rugby Union, and we're looking forward to a competitive battle between the two teams that are out there. Just taking a look at Harlequins, there's a few changes to this team as well. Basically running as listed. Luca Mella listed there on the wing for Quins is out and replaced by Stuart Gould. And then a couple of other additions to the reserve bench for Quins, who are looking for their second win of the year. And the University team, pretty much as listed as they have run out today. No changes to that side, and they'll be looking to come back from a pretty solid loss last week to the Lions, who have cemented themselves in 5th place, but a long way for the Lions to make it into the top 4 if they get to get there by finals. Plenty of spectators on the field out here today. You may hear some grand commentary from some of those on the effects mic. It's a collection of University stalwart players lingering very close to the microphone there. So hopefully you'll get some colourful entertainment today on the stream. Interesting positional changes from what we've regularly seen on both teams here. University have had some shuffling around of particularly their half pairings, and this week we're seeing back to the regular Snyders at halfback and Jensen at 10. And here we go, Harlequins with the kickoff. Leatua gets a high one, and it's taken well by Ryan for the Red Men. Snyder's coming into halfback position. Definitely his favoured position. He'd been playing out at scrum half. Sorry, flip that around. Playing at scrum half. He'd been playing at fly half a little bit recently. Certainly I would much prefer to see him running out of the halfback position. And Brancher, who we saw playing from scrum half, is now playing in that fullback position with Josh May coming into inside centre. So that pairing of May and Snodgrass will be an intriguing one. There's some looking forward to seeing what they can do today. Anyway, the penalty advantage not coming, so the students will have a kickback here. May there in the number 12 on his back, walking away from us. Usually see him wearing a 15. Ball has returned and roosted downfield, and it's a good one. It's fairly windy out here today. I'd say there's probably an advantage to University, as they'll be kicking with that wind blowing from left to right. Not sure of which corner it may be favouring, but it certainly seemed to hold up kicking it into that corner, so possibly blowing a little bit towards our camera. Harlequins looking to compete here while Van Leeuwen throws this ball in. Looking for probably a Henry Davis, maybe Ed Jones in the 6 there on his back will get up for this one. And Pregnell at the front in 8. And they go to Jones Ball comes now wide. Jensen under a bit of pressure. Great work from Ladlow to get up there and cut Jensen down, and he's been pinned holding on. So good work there by Quins. Great pressure from Ladlow on that open side flanker position. And Faye Leatua in the 12 today for Quins. Kicks it, and there you can see a bit of a banana, but the wind battling against him, and he makes about 3 metres. Currently a game on the opposite field behind us here between Taruna and Launceston in the second grade. Launceston currently leading that one 22-10. And the jump is very early and taken by Outman, who drops it down. And Ladlow carrying it in two hands. Didn't need to pop that one. He had Colgrave coming over to clean out and help him out, but unfortunately the communication between the two wasn't quite there. Maybe not a bad option. I think Ladlow felt he was a bit isolated, but the ball went to the hands of Colgrave, who wasn't able to take it because I don't think he was expecting that. And the knock-on comes, and we will have a scrum to Harlequins. Oh, scrum to Harlequins. Certainly missed that personally. Must have been knocked on by University out of the hands of Ladlow. And scrum ball's messy, and University get to it first. But it's through the same channel, just straight out the other side. And we will have another scrum. Scrum sets. You're going to hear some discussions about people's holidays. Ball comes out. Meeklem dishes it out to Maafu, and he chips through. Ball out on the full there, though, so that just carried a little bit across the field here by the wind. And University will have the line out right here, right in front of our camera position. Van Leeuwen just taking the ball and goes to the front. Good opportunity. I don't think that's gone 5, though, and it's been knocked on. The wind causing some problems there, needing to go for that short line out. Next time, you may want to just keep that in hand rather than dropping it down quickly. And scrum sets. Adeleo puts that ball in, has to chase it, gets it off to his teammate. There's some experienced play between these two over a long period of time for Harlequins. And another pop off the ground there from Quins. Gets knocked on, unable to be taken there by Gould for Quins, and it's been turned over as well. So penalty, knock-on advantage here. And Snyders gets in. And again, we see Ladlow getting up quickly onto Jensen. This ball goes to ground, and we keep moving this ball forward. So we're going slowly here, University. Ball deemed to be forward, and we'll have a scrum. All right, scrum fed. Another Quinn scrum. Adelaide with the pass, looking for Mafu. Finds him. And a nice wrap around there by Leatua. The defence read it well from May, but he wasn't able to take Leatua to ground, and he makes another 5 metres. Gets them well inside University's half now, past the 10. Outman with his first hit up of the day. It's been stolen, though, and somehow managed to get it back. So fortunate to get away with that one. Harlequins, big bump off there. Van Leeuwen trying to take on Frost. Found himself flat on his back. And Quins will slow it down. Ball comes now. Mafu to Ladlow, looking dangerous. He throws it back. Finds O'Donnell. And he just rolls that one back, O'Donnell. Didn't quite hang on to that securely enough, and it hits the boot of Mafu and goes forward straight into University's possession. And they battle that one forward. Good pressure, Ladlow getting up there again, putting a lot of pressure on that first receiver for University. Now the ball comes, Van Leeuwen. May decides he wants to play field position, and he gets a long one back there. It's over the head of Leatua, and it rolls on and goes out. So that's a big, big loss there for the Redmen with that ball going dead. It was a great option there from May, but we'll come all the way back for the scrum. Definitely the field position idea is a great one there, just not quite making that kick fine touch. He has a... And we'll come all the way back, and Harlequins will have yet another scrum. Still 0 apiece here. Defence needs to be tight in this situation. The Harlequins back line look like they've been trying a few things. Last time they did a great job of getting around, creating an extra man. May covered Leatua nicely though. Wasn't able to stop him, however. Quins will be looking to put something else on here. Feed goes in, and again just rolls out of the feet of Meeklem. Leatua takes a narrow line, and they got space now. Jonah Albert has had a great season, Jonah, and he struggles through 3 tacklers, and eventually it takes 2 to get him to ground. And the hands go on the deck there from University. Should be penalised. Somehow the counter ruck is to get away with that, but there are hands all over the deck there from University. Should have been penalised going off their feet, and in the end they get that ball and May roosts it downfield. Cullen can't get under it, gets over his head, and Gould comes back. Cullen needs to go with Gould. Gould's got some pace and he looks for the outside, stepping back inside, gets the hand out to fend. And now it's in the hands of Reid. And he finds that man whose name I've said quite a few times already today, Aaron Ladlow. Goes the grubber through, bounces off University and goes out. And Quins will have the set piece from the line out inside University territory yet again. We're going to go to Outman and find him nicely. He goes to ground. And we've got an advantage to Harlequins here. Farley decides to go for the little chip over, but it's smothered. And just the free kick here, so the tap will happen. Adelaide with the tap, finds Meeklem. runs into contact, and Ladlow is now only 2 metres out. He goes an extra roll there. He needs to be penalised. He doesn't. Gets away with it, and it looks to me like, okay, it's been held up. So good defence under there. And if interesting, that's the ball's been held up. It should be a goal line dropout. And for some reason, Harlequins get the scrum feed. So the confusion, I'm not sure why that's the decision out there. If the ball's held up in goal, it should be a goal line dropout to University. Ball comes to Meeklem. Shrugs off the tackle. He's got someone out there. He's got Mafu, who goes close, puts the ball down on the line, and Quinn's come away with it. I think the discussion being had there between Davis and the referee will be exactly about the decision there to give them the scrum. If the ball is held up over the line, it should be a goal line dropout. So good work to Harlequins, good persistence from them. They'll get that try eventually. Conversion will come here from Faye Leatua, the Harlequins captain. Taking his time. Wind is really blowing up. You can see in the background there, trees. Big gust at the moment coming through. It's going to be a difficult kick from here. It's going to be blowing probably across almost into Leatua's face here. Shapes to kick and sprays it out wide. Again, not surprised there with the wind blowing straight up the field there. So we'll come back and University will return the kick to Harlequins. So a 5-0 lead to Harlequins into the wind. Kick goes very long and taken by Adeleo. Gives it off to Mafu, who's been busy so far. He takes Ed Jones with him. And they dish it off. Finds Wakefield. Meeklem gives it out to Gould. Cops a high one over the top there. From McMaster from University. But they hang on to possession. No advantage. And there was an advantage, exactly advantage for the high tackle, and it'll come back and another opportunity for Harlequins to put the ball down into University's territory. It's lazy tackling to go high on a player in that position on the wing. McMaster had every opportunity there to just take Gould out over the sideline. Gould was strong, but McMaster needed to go low, and instead he went for the high tackle and was just shrugged off and went over the shoulder of Gould. Gave away that penalty. Tough position there for the kick. And we're going to have the line out here right on the halfway. Wakefield just waiting for a ball. And it's a wobbly one. The wind, that's really hard work there for Wakefield. He's thrown that ball dead straight to start with, and the wind's taken it about 3 or 4 metres away. It's a difficult decision to make there for a referee, given that the ball was thrown straight originally. Often you see that allowed to play on because the throw actually was thrown straight at the start, but that one advantage the Quins way too much, and Snyders will get a put into the scrum here. University, first opportunity with the ball in a while. 16, 17 minutes on the clock. And the wraparound from Jensen. He gets past and there's a big gap open. Albert got up way too quickly on the outside there. Just left a big gap, but it's been knocked on at the base. So ball's gone to ground there from University. Might have been Snyder's on the bottom. I'm not sure. Didn't quite catch who that was, but just rolled along as he went to the deck. And they give the ball back to Harlequins, whose scrum has been really solid. They just need Meeklem at the back to hold that ball in, just to give Adeleo a little bit more time to get around to it. Not sure how much rugby Meeklem's been playing this year. He gets it that time, still just hacks it back a little bit. And Mafu straightens up off his left foot, as we often see him do. Takes it into contact, and Quinns will throw it around to that blind side in the hands of Ladlow. Cops a nice tackle from Davis as he steps back inside, and then Adeleo gets driven back by Jones. Meeklem comes into the halfback. Probably cops a tackle from an offside. Jones at the ruck there, hanging around on the side of it. And Albert decides he wants to kick it downfield and eventually finds touch. Just a bit of disorganisation, I think, there in some ways for Harlequins to kick that ball. But it's worked out a little in their favour. University will have to throw a ball at this line out with a strong wind. And they find Pregnell, who takes it to ground this time. Must have been listening to my advice from the last line out. McMaster now hits the deck. No one really with him. Oh, yes, there was. There was Josh May. It's a good clean out by May in the end to secure that ball. And they keep coming around the far side. That's Ethan Lee in the black headgear. And they go blind again, looking for Gale. And it's been just stolen. Adeleo has it now. They've got some numbers out wide if they can get it there. Outman decides that is on, and Frost dishes it out to Gould. Has Gould got the pace to get around McMaster? No, he doesn't. And this time, McMaster makes his tackle count, going low, and drives Gould into touch, and the line out will come. Good hands out there from Harlequins. The long pass was really well taken by Michael Frost over his head in this wind, and to quickly get that ball across to Gould out there was really worked in their favour too. And the line out throw, scrappy forward pass there, getting away with it though. Very seedy looking pass there from Colgrave. Now the ball comes to McMaster, slips through the first tackle, looks for a bit of a gap. Can't get through Colgrave though, and his support comes. Bit of a high contact on the shoulder there on Jensen. And they come back, and May goes the kick. The high one's good. The bounce is very nice though for Gould, and he gets another chance to run. McMaster this time bounces off him, and he's taken by Lee, who eventually slowly rolls out of the way. And Leatua comes in, and Albert just boots it again. He needs to get this mindset of just kick out of his head. I think it's really well taken out there by Wakefield, the hooker. And Harlequins have got their front row on this near side, at least two of them, and they go the long way around the other side. Mafu with the one-hander tries to offload. It's a good idea, but it goes forward from him. And this game is a messy one. Just waiting for Michael Frost to make his way over to the scrum. Scrum sets and Snyders puts it in. Very good drive there from Quinns. He needs to get that ball out, Snyders, and he does. Jensen now deciding to play very flat, just shutting down that opportunity for Ladlow to get up and in his face. It's a good idea. Snyders has a bit of a run, runs into very solid hit. And the ball's been turned over both ways, and University with a penalty advantage here. I think Adeleo had his hands on that ball and went off his feet. It's been deemed, and students will have an opportunity here to cast a die. Pass doesn't make it, though, where it needed to go to Josh May, and no advantage. Good persistence at the ruck there. Great effort by Adeleo to put the pressure on, but he lost his footing. And I think it was possibly Pregnell who stole it back off him as soon as he went off his feet too. Just gave Uni that extra chance there, but passing in this wind is hard, and they're going to need to be more precise than that if they're going to get down anywhere near the Harlequins try line, which is somewhere they haven't been as yet. It's a good prime opportunity here for University to try their hand at something out of this back line again. With this wind, it's very difficult, and they're spread quite wide. Pregnell gets his hands on it and sacked. Long pass. Jensen to May. May back inside to Jensen. But guess who's defending in that little channel? Aaron Ladlow, and he gets to his feet and makes another tackle before any of his teammates can even get there. Now they push the ball out wide. Snodgrass, he needed to pass there. Instead he runs into the heavy traffic, and it's just stolen from him but not released. And we're coming back for offside. I really think that, just check back to the replay here. It was great work inside between May and Jensen. And then as this ball came out wide, Snodgrass needed to dish it out. He had Brancher and McMaster on his outside right here. Ready? The pass goes now. And look at the space that Brancher had in front of him. So probably go a bit of an opportunity going begging there from University. They'll come back and opting for a scrum. Scrum sets, and Snyders will have a look. Red go forward, driving nicely. Balls scrum, they're still continuing to move forward. Need to use it now, and they do. Dare say Jensen had crept a long way offside there. He was only about 3 metres behind that scrum. And they come to the right, dishing it out. May slips through the ankle tackle of Jonah Albert. And they move it to the middle. Pregnell pops it off, finds his prop there, Jordan Ryan. And now it comes out, finds some hands out wide. But we've got an intentional knock-on out here from Harlequins. And the penalty he's on. See, here's a good drive forward there from Jordan Ryan, who had Michael Frost land on his head. And this one here, Josh Albert out on that wing there, throwing his hands out to that ball. Very lucky to not be sent to the bench for one like that with about 15 metres behind you to the try line. There was a lot of defence around him, but don't want to see him doing that again. And Uni get the drive on. So some confidence here at the scrum. Adeleo with his hand in the air, saying, surely they've stopped, they're still going. No penalty here. We've got an arm out now, but no penalty advantage seemed to be called while that scrum was in position. Harlequins were completely sideways. And between Jones and Snodgrass out there, we've got an error. And discussion here with Leah Tua about some repeated penalties maybe. So it's a penalty advantage at the point there that we were watching. Not sure what the penalty there was for at that particular location. But University now. With the scrum right in front of the post, about 10 metres out. Got May and Snodgrass on this side, Jensen on the other side. And well done by Snyders. Rides the attempted tackle from Fale Adeleo and then realises that the Harlequins fought back, haven't even moved. Their back row still all attached. And an excellent run there from Ian Snyders to put the first points on the board for University. And they draw level 5-all. It's good work by Adeleo, really. He was very quick. It looks pretty much onside, but he didn't get close enough to Snyders, who was too cunning. And the battle of those halfbacks there is entertaining. Snyders goes up 1-0 though over Adeleo, and he has given Josh May the kick from right in front. May comes back a long way. He's got the wind almost directly behind him. And the kick is fantastic. Is it? I'm not sure. I didn't hear a whistle. Come back for the kick in the middle here as Harlequins come back quickly. Just double checking that conversion. It was good. I thought it was good. So nearly 30 minutes down. University with a narrow lead there, just that conversion being the difference. And Leah Tua with the kick. Ryan slips through his hands and goes out. And deemed to have been knocked on as well. So Harlequins again with the set piece opportunity here. University scrums really had some ascendancy on their own feed over the last few. It'll be interesting to see how they can go in this situation here with the feed going to Harlequins. They may be able to milk a penalty. They've been pretty hard done by not gaining penalty advantage from particularly the last scrum, where Quinn's completely turned sideways across the field. But they're good at getting that to the back there, Quinns, and they hold on. And Snyders gets a hand on Adeleo this time. Lots of arms out there. We've got some substitutions happening here for Harlequins. Coming back for a knock-on. I'm not sure. Must have been... Don't know why there was a knock-on called there. Must have called that Snyders has knocked that forward out of Adeleo's hand back at the scrum, I think is the call there. Substitution that has happened for Harlequins is... Maaloga Tuala has come on in the number 8. We just saw him carry that ball the last one. And Meeklem there's just completely disengaged from that and then put his feet in to the back into the scrum. It's all chaos out here at the moment. And eventually Quinns get the ball out, get it wide, and Cullen's out there with a little bit of space, which is what he likes. But he can't get through. Josh May comes across and provides some defensive support. And there's a battle at the ruck here. University might be able to win this if they can get it back. The hand's in the ruck there. by Leatua. And it's knocked on by University. Just a good defence here. Snodgrass and May here. Snodgrass and May both coming in onto Cullen. Not sure where the knock-on came. There was a good drive. No hands as yet. And then we've got a ruck and University hand on the ground, actually. Lucky to get away with it, really. It's all a mess. I don't fancy refereeing this game with the scruffiness that's going on out there. And Meeklem goes around the outside. He manages to dish it off to Adeleo. He's looking for Albert on his outside. Has kicked through, and Brancher wisely, for someone who's playing in about his third game of senior men's Division 1 rugby in Tasmania, decides that the mark is the option. And he roosts it downfield, and that's a good win. Well done to Brancher. Not had a lot of involvement as yet playing down there at fullback. And he's put it all the way down to right next to the halfway. Chris Mahina over there in the white hat holding the assistant's flag. Was originally named to be on the bench for this game. And they go for O'Donnell and then to the back. Good pressure, but Frost finds it. It's a nice straight one. Lull in the wind. Snyders tries to go over. Loses his feet. He's got to get out of there. He's offside. And then another offside University player there just hacking at the ball, Henry Davis. And eventually it comes out and knocked forward. Just the ruck is an absolute nightmare at the moment. And players from both teams being just allowed to do seemingly whatever they like at the breakdown. And referees are just allowing it to play on, which is probably better than stopping it a lot. So we're seeing a little bit of a free-flowing game, but basically the ball's shifting from one side of the field to the other, and then it's a set piece. Wind playing a big part in that, I think, too. Neither team able to really gain any ascendancy over the other. And Snyders here with the put in. And they keep it in. Good work at the back there from Pregnall. He needs to just shift the ball around to this side to give Snyders a bit of space. And now Harlequins have popped up in the front row and there's still no penalty. The ball through the legs there from Snyders. Jensen keeps going. He's still holding on to it. And now he dishes it back inside and finds Ethan Lee. We're going to have a knock-on. So University just cannot manage to get a penalty out of the referee here at the scrum. They'd driven through there, and Harlequins just, the entire front row just stood up under that pressure, and yet still they were forced to deal with the scruffy ball at the back. So, hard day at the office out there for University to try and win a penalty. And in the end there, nice through the legs ball there from Snyders to Jensen. Sees Jensen run down the sideline. But eventually the ball from Lee, I think, was passed off and lost. See Michael Frost there at the bottom of the screen just coming off. University again with a good drive. Ball gets knocked out. Knocked down there. This time we're going to see a problem at the bottom here too, because the knock on by Gould, and University have really got their tails up. Good drive down there from them. And great pressure around that scrum. All started from the front row pressure with the drive, with the push in that scrum. Scrum wheeled and the ball, Adeleo couldn't pick it up cleanly. He's flung it out and Gould ended up with the ball at his ankles and knocked it on. And University with a great opportunity here. Like to see Snyders possibly come around this blind side. Now he's being well watched. And they've got to win a penalty here. Again, no. Jensen runs into contact and taken to ground. Maafu's there. Snyders sniping for a second try. Can't get there, but he gets it back for his team. They go the pick and drive. It's very close now. Lee's been busy. Stolen by Albert. And Meerklem now has them. They got some numbers out wide. Meerklem needs to get the pass away. He does. He finds Lealuga. And Lealuga should have passed earlier, but he decided to try and run over the top of Brancher. Brancher was able to put enough of a shot on him to take him to ground, and Lealuga's pass flings over the sideline. Probably about twice the weight there. It's just again, look, Henry Davis out there in the blue headgear having a conversation with the referee. He probably felt that that ball that was stolen wasn't okay. And the ball now with May. May kicks. He's probably put a bit too much on that. He has, and it's out on the full. With only a couple of minutes to go. It's a close one. So come back up and we'll have a line-out throw to Harlequins. And the ball thrown. Outman can't hang on to it. Gets eventually tapped, but it's deemed not straight. And University, probably last opportunity here for the half. See if they can continue their dominance in this scrum. Maybe earn themselves a penalty with an opportunity to put the ball down for a line out deep in Quinn's territory with this wind advantage that they've not been able to make a lot of advantage of. It's a funny one. It's not really helped them. This time the scrum is even, but we've rotated it. Adelaio's offside there, so the penalty advantage comes this time, and Snodgrass gets around the outside. He could have held on there. Brancher slips past Josh Albert, and great work there by Mackay Cullen. And interesting, going to come all the way back. It's a long way to come back for no advantage from the penalty. That ball had gone about 70 metres across the field and downfield. But they're going to come all the way back. And May will kick for touch. And puts a good one on. It's a great kick. So University, last shot at it here for the half. Throw from Leeuwen. It's been successful to Pregnell at the front quite a few times. Just goes 5, and they hold on and maul it here now. Dishes it out to the back now in the hands of Lee. He finds Van Leeuwen. Runs back in there and needs to be released. Eventually is released. Squeeze ball here. And we go to Jensen. He decides the little kick around the posts. Hits the post, bounces. Who's going to get it? Not Jensen. And it's taken by Faye Leatua. And it's half time. I'm not even sure why the ball was blown up, why play was stopped there. Just watch that again, that kick, the kick from Jensen here as it hits the post before we head off to the halftime break. Hits the post there, and Jensen almost gets it. Ball's still playing on here. Ladlow has it, and the referee says that's full time. I don't even know why play stopped. But anyway, that's half time, and close one. University and Harlequins both one try apiece. Conversion to University being the difference. We'll go to a break and be back with you shortly with the second half of this very close, scrappy game. And we're back for the second half. It's a close one here. And, here we go. The big fella, Tawala, gives it off to a nice running support line from Jeff Outman. And Harlequins have started nicely. Lealuga running that ball into contact this time. And then they dish it out. Mafu, Leatua. He's got Albert outside him and he flings a shocker forward. May have been a little bit of pressure on him there. So we start the second half. Just have to give a quick shout out of thanks to Effective Block and Bricklaying for providing us with a nice little truck to put our camera up on top of today. Usually it's good to have some support today with our change in venues for the day. We needed some quick help, and Aaron Ladlow from Harlequins was able to bring his work truck through. So thanks to Aaron and Effective Block and Bricklaying. And ball goes in. University now just inside their own half, and they try to push this one through again. It's good form there in the scrum. Harlequins just maintaining their engagement, and eventually the ball comes out wide. May, he's got Brancher who doesn't want it. It's knocked on both ways. Second knock on not spotted there by the referee, so the advantage comes. Ladlow, Jensen. Ladlow maintains possession, and through they go. Toma now. Substitutions have come at half time. And after a lot of mess from a couple of knock-ons about 5 metres up the field, University end up with the scrum. So probably only one change during the half, seeing Toma coming on there at the number 8 position. So Meeklem looks like he's having a break after a solid half of rugby from him. Played very well off the back of the scrum. University still got a bit of push here on their own scrum. Pregnell holding it in. It's got to be a penalty here. It's no penalty advantage. So the team driving forward, the scrum collapses and no penalty. Again, just so hard for University. McMaster having a good run here. Gets around a few, decides eventually to straighten up, and the clean out is not very good and dished back. So Harlequins there winning at the breakdown. Now the ball comes out. Cullen, Ladlow out on the wing. Gould, who's been pretty good today, just standing there. No, he moves out of the way, and Adeleo comes in. Gives it off. And Adeleo again looking inside him. Mafu hit by Josh May, but manages to find his way out of it. Kicks himself out of the tackle there, and then runs 40 metres across the field before Snodgrass takes him down. So, good opportunity here for Quinns now inside the 22. It's a nice kick over. Who's going to get there? It goes dead. So we'll come back. I don't know. We're coming way back for something. Oh, way back to the original penalty. I don't even think we've got a replay of this. It was quite nearly a minute and a half ago. University player holding on at the breakdown. I think the pressure in there came from the front rower. Lealuga for Harlequins won that one. And Leatua with the banana finds touch, and his team will now have an attacking line out. Just less than 10 metres out. Throw coming from Wakefield. University jump early. Should be a free kick there. No, Ladlow takes it over the top, and he's very close. And in the end, the throw wasn't straight. Aaron not happy with that one. And the scrum comes for University. Just watch where Ladlow's in the halfback position. I think he reads this ball really well. But yeah, not a straight throw. Referee standing at the back of the line out, and it was nowhere near him. So Uni will want to clear out of here, but the wind is not going to help. See Jensen in the background here, and Snodgrass behind him. The last, I'd say, 6 scrums that University have had, they've managed to drive Harlequins back. They haven't managed to get a single penalty out of any of them, even though Harlequins have collapsed underneath. They've stood up. They've turned sideways. So I want to make sure that they don't lose that ascendancy, University. The ball's going to come in. And they drive it forward a little. And the ball comes to Jensen, who runs it. He's just contact by Ladlow, so he goes to ground. And now it's been turned over. And around the outside, we see Harlequins score. I don't know what happened back there. We'll come back. Some question coming from University about what happened at the breakdown. But the ball seemed to bobble out. Jensen went to ground. And scrum drives. Here we go. So Jensen goes to ground, puts the ball back, rolls out, and off a boot, and eventually into the hands of Stuart Gould, who called at the start of last half, has been good today. And Harlequins take the lead back. And the kick will come from Leatua from that far side. With the wind behind him to some degree. There's another match about to be played behind us here as well between Taroona and Glenorchy in the Premiership division. We'll bring you the second half of that match once we've finished and wrapped up here on this field. And the kick comes, and it's a good one. So Harlequins push their lead out now by 5, 12-7. And the kick comes and it finds Ashton Reid. He dishes it off very quickly, wisely, whilst under pressure. And Toala takes it up, approaching the 10-metre line. Good pressure from May, gets back, but Mafu just gets around. May can't quite make the tackle on Mafu, though. And Mafu gets around Ryan, and he's away. He needs some support. Eventually they get back there. As he turns inside, Pregnall gets him from behind. And Leatua with that right-footed outside of the boot banana nearly finds Aaron Ladlow. Ladlow was screaming onto that ball, but Brancher just managed to get his hands on it before Ladlow, and Brancher clears, but they're under a lot of pressure now, the students, and Harlequins sniffing a bit of a victory here, even though it's only 5 points. They got a very strong breeze assisting them. And just causing a bit of havoc with University's defence, just not making some first up tackles. And around the sideline goes University. Great run down there, and they made a good number of metres. To see Addy Mandala is going to come on shortly for University. Advantage now comes to Uni, so they've got the ball nearly to the halfway. And Mafu just lying under there. Figures, oh, well, the penalty advantage, I might as well not even bother trying. May flings a wide one. Brancher steps back inside, finds Jensen, and he's got someone on his outside in Gale. But the defence gets across, puts the pressure on, and there's some good hands in there. Nice work from Patman to dish that off. And eventually that ball gets taken to ground and will come back for the penalty. So no ground made there by University. Failing to release and then not roll away. And Josh May will be asked to put this ball out. Kicking into the wind. And he does so. Looks like, so yeah, we'll see the next breakdown after this line out. I suspect we'll see Mandala come on, and Harlequins looking to make a couple of substitutions as well. We'll see Sion and Brown come on. While that happens, ball hits the deck, knocked on by Uni. Might have been knocked backwards, somehow won by Uni. Jensen copped a bit of a contact on him whilst trying to pick it up. They've got to penalise number 8 there. He'll get penalised here. Just Toala trying to out-muscle at the ground there. He made the tackle, and instead of rolling away, he tried to get his hands on that ball as he jumped to his feet, but lost his footing. And University, tough kick from here. May will look to kick to this near side. It's going to be held up in the wind. And Jonah Albert dishes it off to Leatua. They're running across field. He uses again the outside of that right boot, and it goes a long way downfield. And finds touch. Just nearly inside the 22. If that's inside the 22, that's a line out to Harlequins. I don't know if they're going to switch onto this here, the officials. That's definitely a 50-22 if the ball's inside there. And no, University is somehow going to get it. I don't know why Harlequins are not calling for that. That should be their ball. Jordan Ryan coming from the field, being replaced by Mandala. So Pregnell dishes it off. Ball's gone backwards. Oh, Ladlow! He's run into the passing lane there of Snyder's, and the ball was just hammered over his head, and he's jumped to try and catch it and knocked it forward. He nearly couldn't believe his luck there. If the pass had been a little bit softer, he would have had that one, and the try line was only a few metres in front of him. So it's all going wrong, and this the weather's not going to help University here. There's a little bit of rain falling. Little bit of rain, and the wind is not helping them either. Just trying to get our equipment out of the wind over here. Apologies for the lull in you getting to hear my voice. Anyway, the ball was in there. University losing it at the breakdown. And penalty against Harlequins. Bit of luck there in a way for Uni. It's hard to get out of there. And this ball may land on our tent. No, the wind stops it from getting there. And match also just starting behind us, the first division match between Taroona and Glenorchy. Keep you posted with some scores from out there. And been some really good line-out work by University. That one, not so. They've thrown a lot of balls to Pregnell at the front, who's been outstanding, and just trying to mix it up a little bit there, and the throw didn't come off. And they hand that ball back to Quins with that 5-point lead at the moment. So we do see Siona on the field, and Chris Brown has come into halfback. So Fale having a rest. Other than that, back line on that open side at the moment for Harlequins is unchanged. Great scrumming here from University, but the ball's picked up at the back, and eventually Brown gets it out to Mafu. Looks for the grubber through, but there's too much traffic there, and it's been turned over. Snodgrass is the one who gets his hands on it, and Snyders passes it out, finds Patman. Now they go to Jensen. Dishes it wide to May. He's got a little bit of room and puts Brancher in a beautiful gap. Brancher holds it in two hands. He looks outside and he finds Gale. Gale gets it back. Oh, some sweet moves out there by the young fellas for Uni. Unfortunately, in the end, I don't know that there was a clear release, and the penalty advantage is going to come to the students. It was a good tackle from Ladlow, but no clear release there for sure. And that was really good, really great work. We'll come back and hit this up on the replay, but some good hands down this sideline. Pass there from Brancher. Brancher holds it up beautifully. He finds Gale, and the pass from Gale, and quick hands back in. And just see there, it's probably not really a clear release there from Ladlow, even though he did move his arm position to get there. So great work from Uni to get down there. We've got Josh May just staying down a bit here. Maybe getting a breather. It was a good run. He had a number of involvements in that. He started with a great pass to Brancher. And then the ball went way down, all the way through the hands, back to May again, and he ended up with that ball inside the 22 of Quins, and Uni have opted for a scrum. So good option for them. They've been very good in this situation. Scrums have been excellent. They really want to hit back, and you see the rain falling. Really want to hit back here and level, if not take the lead back from a rare attacking opportunity. And the ball comes wide. Jensen goes to May, pops it around, and Jensen with the grubber. Well collected down there, I think, by Cullen. Sort of diving over the top of that ball there, I thought, in the bottom of the ruck there. Ladlow going off his feet, but gets away with it. Leatua roosts one back. Who's going to get under this? Gale doesn't get it on the full, lets it bounce. He needs to take it now. He's got some pressure onto him. He needs to look for the pass, and he gets it away to Brancher, who finds McMaster on the far side. He's had a good battle with Gould out there, McMaster. Those two are very, very well matched. And again, ball's been stolen from McMaster, who's off his feet, tackled to the ground and not released. We should see a penalty to University here. Jonah Albert, I think he's done it a couple of times this match. There's a fine line between ripping the ball off the player while they're off their feet. As soon as that guy's knee touches the ground, you can't keep hold of it, and you've got to let him go. I think that's the situation there. Referee makes the call as to what that point is, and in this case, Jonah Albert illegally ripping that ball away. And this time, can Pregnell take it? I'm not sure where that ball is. Looks like he has got it and got it back. So good competition in the air there. Pregnell finds Snodgrass, who's got some pressure from Albert. University come around now and find Jones, who makes some good meters. Now Mandala runs into a solid hit there, but bounces off, has another go. They need to get out of there and let him go. And University just managed to get out. They've got a little bit of room out on the right, Not sure why the advantage wasn't continued there. Jensen wanting to play on, but they were definitely, he had his back to the defence. And they go quickly. Davis needs to get some support with him quickly, and they get there. Snyders throws it wide. Patman steps inside. Now sniffing for the line. 5 metres. And they go wide. The ball goes to no one though. May eventually on the bounce. Spins around but can't get through. And he's under pressure. Good support of the breakdown from the students. And they go to Mandala. Kane support's a little way away. They get there though. Now Patman runs back inside. Just a slow play here. Van Leeuwen taken by 2. Quinn's not committing a lot to the breakdown. And Jensen ducking and weaving his way through, but can't find a break. And Mandala getting his hands on it again. So good to see Addy out there getting involved. Again, not released. It's got to be a penalty. We got an advantage. I can't see an advantage happening there. Harlequins players taken the ball off the University player on the ground and then put it back. Good work there from Uni. I can't see who it is. I think it might have been Pregnall. They're in the red headgear. Make a good decision here. Who do they find? Little burrowing line there from University, and the advantage comes their way. Snyders needs to sniff it out of there, but he can't. And not rolling away. Yet again, the breakdown, very messy here. And University with a penalty. Looks like they're going to have a scrum. Not really been able to get a lot of progress out of their backs from the scrum. With a new halfback out there in Chris Brown, I'd love to see Snyders try and take him on. He's got a decent blind side out here on the left. It's not going to have the pressure at the back of the scrum that he was receiving from Adeleo when he was on. Interesting scenario here too on this blind. You can see Snodgrass and May both on this blind side. It's only about 12 metres, 15 metres wide. So they're trying to create a bit of space on the other side. They drive forward here. Need to maintain possession and eventually a scrum penalty. May tries to go himself. But gets taken out over the sideline, but the penalty advantage was there. So first scrum penalty of the day there. And referee just explaining to Leatua, Quinn's captain. Something may be warning a lot of penalties in this situation. Davis runs no further than Ashton Reed. Now they're looking for Jensen. He's got a little wrap in Patman, and Patman fights hard to maintain possession. He's got to get himself to ground there. He does. And now diving through the ruck there, Snyders cops a tackle as he picks it up, and it's been turned over. Uni going to have to fight now to get this ball back. And again, just messy, scrappy breakdown. And University going to have to walk away with no points. And Harlequins with the penalty. Some cheering coming from the ground behind us after a few minutes. The Taruna have scored their first try. Okay, the kick is an interesting one coming our way. Finds Gale. He'd love to get into a bit of space. He gets hit pretty hard by Ladlow, and Patman has to hurry back, and he does. And eventually, University get back around this and recover. It was well done by Gale, and equally well done by Patman to get back there and help him. Now Snyder's dishing it off to Davis. They've not used a lot of these short phases, University. Now may be the time. Interesting scuffle. Ashton Reid needs to be careful going in high in those tackles there for head contact on Pregnall. I think everything was okay, but it's risky going in so high and hard in a tackle. And May has dished the ball off and thrown a intercept pass to Stuart Gould, who takes it and dives over underneath. And after all of the defensive efforts from Quins, that they managed to soak up attack after attack after attack from University, a stray pass from Josh May is picked on by Stuart Gould, and he runs all the way down, puts on a try at the other end. Fortunately, we don't even have enough length on our replay to catch that. Here he goes. It was a great intercept. It was a little pop pass there from May that nearly found its target, but Gould was all over that, and he celebrates a nice one from him. He's played very well today. Conversion kick will be right in front. Excuse my fingers. 17-7. Leatua with the kick. Puts it over. Quins now with a nice 12-point lead. Biggest lead of the match. University, after a lot of attack there, unable to put any points on the board this half. They really need to dig deep here, the students, if they're going to be able to bridge this gap. They need the next try. And the ball goes, finds Sione. He goes for a run across the field, throws a very wide pass. Can't find Ladlow, and it's forward. And that'll give the Red Men a great opportunity here with the scrum centre of the field, about just inside 30 metres. All right. What have they got up their sleeves, University, here? I need to try something. It's a good scrum too. Snyder's just flat pass out to Jensen. They got some strength out wide. Snodgrass just instead runs it straight into Mafu. And he puts the pressure on at the breakdown. Oh, here we go. Moyer coming off the bench. Runs on a nice little flat pass off the side of the ruck. Patman again, he's been really busy, really hard working this half. Now Mandala, same. He can't roll again though. Ooh, lucky. And yeah, we got offside play here at the ruck. And we're going to see a card, I would say. Sure, looks like, not sure who we're going to be spoken to. But that's, that penalty there is really cynical, but it's Mafu who's going to cop it. So Mafu, I'm not sure what that one's for, but we'll see a yellow card, and that will aid the students because Mafu's been really very good so far. So the yellow card out there to Harlequins. Give Harlequins one man down for 10 minutes, which will run them through almost to the end of the match. It's been great today, Mafu too, so must have been some foul play down there. Another sub there with Gale coming off, replaced by Levi Gumley, and the scrum for University wins again. Jensen straightens up. He's got... Oh, it's a good effort. Good defensive effort. But Jensen makes it over under some pressure from Brown and Ladlow. And the students hit back straight away. With Mafu off the field, Jensen identified that channel there as one that was going to be defensively a little bit easier for him. And through he goes. So the students hit back quickly. They needed that one. And with this conversion, if it's good, we're back to a 5-point ball game. May with the kick, chips it, and he's pushed it out to the right. So it's a converted try. The difference here must be 10, maybe a little less than 10 minutes to go. Harlequins with only 14 on the field are going to have to fight hard. Some more substitutions coming out there. Number 21, Samoa TC Tolava'a comes onto the field. And the kick is a great one. Ladlow can't take it though. He gets right on the spot and knocks it on. University now with the ball. Knocked on again by Wakefield trying to get his hands on it. And a wonky pass. Not a great pass there for Pregnell, so we'll come back for the original knock-on from the kickoff, which was actually about 5 metres to the left of there, right on the line where Ladlow jumped for that ball over the top of Mandala. Just timed his run brilliantly. I could see him, Ladlow, on that right in front of me. I thought he was going to get in front of the kicker, but Leatua doesn't have a long sort of run through on his kick, so he's only kicks off a couple of steps. Good scrumming there from Harlequins. Driving back, they need to get that ball out to Snyders. Puts it in front of Jensen again. And Snodgrass, miles behind the gain line there, needs to pick that one up and gets it safely. Rain's falling, you can see it there pretty heavily now. But University maintain possession. Still 15 metres shy of the halfway mark. Short, sharp passes are needed. And Pregnell takes it in. Struggles to get himself moving forward and does so. Now the ball comes to Moyer. Hard worker. And now May to Jensen. Snodgrass gets it over the top to Brancher. Steps back inside. Carries in two hands. Yeah, could have been going off their feet. I think sealing off there at that ruck there, University. But get away with it. Now the ball comes out. Pregnell, he's got numbers out wide. They need to get outside. Good work out there by Davis. And Patman to pick it up around his ankles. University just struggling there. If the ball had thrown a little bit quicker. Well done by Jensen. He's been exceptional today. It's really difficult conditions right now. And those passes that are coming to him are coming everywhere. Solid contact there. Mandala loses it too. He's holding his face. More pressure there. Wakefield needs to roll out of there. He does so nicely. He had to get out quickly. And University pick and drive. These conditions are very suited to picking and driving. That's what they need to be doing, but had a whistle blown. Not sure what we're stopping play for. I think Mandala, not sure why they decided to stop play for him. Whether he was staggering. I don't know if he was staggering. Back in the tackle earlier, he was holding his face afterwards. I didn't see any high shots on him, but just being asked, maybe we're going to see a blue card here. Rain's falling a little bit. We'll just do a little bit more rejigging of our equipment and to try and get out of the rain. I'm just going to mute for a second. All right, so after that, didn't catch what happened with Mandela. I think he's still out there, so deemed to be okay. And the scrum to University, 7 points down. And away we go. Whistle's blown, though. Rain's falling very steadily. And we're going to reset that scrum. University drive nicely. Jensen takes it on his chest, finds May, gets past the first tackle of Leatua and taken to ground. So messy again at the breakdown here. Not sure what what we're going to see here. Breakdown's just been an absolute chaos today. I think not a lot of penalties given early for some indiscretions and just questionable play at the breakdown. So it's really gotten out of hand. Players attempting all manner of tactics at the breakdown to try and win it. In this case, good adjudicating there. It was too messy. Referee decides let's call it up. And even though Harlequins seemed to have stolen it, going back to a University scrum. And the crowd's starting to leave due to the rain. Jensen's come to the blind. He's got Gumley. He just runs straight into Brown. And they don't roll away. Number 8 again there for Harlequins, just lying all over the ball. Preventing that ball from coming out for University. Pregnall's been excellent today. He got his hands on that ball again. He's really standing up in these conditions, just putting himself in the front of the ball. They got numbers out here, University, and again May throws an interception. Turnbridge unable to catch that one though. And flashback to moments ago where Harlequins intercepted a Josh May pop pass on that side. He had, I think, 3 players with him, and unfortunately he's picked out Jason Turnbridge. Luckily for University, Turnbridge wasn't able to catch that one, and Uni will have another shot at it. Not sure how much time. Not a lot of time left on the clock. Certainly we're pushing close now to 39 minutes. I can see Sunia Mafu standing on his feet, hoping that he might be able to get back onto the field. Certainly he came off with a little bit over 10 minutes on the clock. And a penalty comes over there. No, it's just a free kick. So they'll go the tap here. They need 7 points for a draw here, University. And they can't get over that. And the ball's stolen again. Rolls out. And, just like messy play. Ball stolen. Players going off their feet. Knocked on this time by Quins. And Uni will have another go. Scores are in the First Division match on field 1 behind us. Glenorchy yet to score, and Taruna with 2 converted tries, so 14-0. Currently a penalty out there. Well, as I said, we'll bring you some of that match once we finish up here. Farley's calling for full time. It's 40 minutes and 8 seconds on my clock. And University with a great drive here. Can they put points on the board? May goes through. Good work by his supporting forward pack to get there. And they now go to Jensen. It's desperate stakes here, just flinging it wide. Brancher looking for a way through. Gets muscled to the ground. And that player's just all over the ball. There's a yellow card there for just total cynical play, trying to slow that ball down. It's a substitution from Harlequins who's on the field. I don't even know if he was penalised for it, but May's got it. Now we're going to come back. And we've just got offside play. I can't believe it. And Sonny Amafu is just able to come back on now with in the final moments of play. But just angles, it's easy for me to sit here and say that there was a apology for our score just disappearing. We've got technically... So Harlequins now no longer have any points or even a team. They just have a yellow card. I can guarantee you the scores are right. Harlequins 19, Uni 12. It's a University scrum. 7 points behind. They need to score. They need the conversion to make this a draw. It's been a hard-fought match for them. And they dish it off. Just running across field. Easy for the defence if they can hold on. Nice little pop around. May needs to hold on to it. He does. Looking for some space. He finds Pregnell right in front of the posts. He's a couple of metres short now. Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the hero for University here? Or who's going to be the hero for Quins and hold them out? Zach Pregnell wants to go. He wants to be that hero. He wants the points. He's very close. And they come again. Jensen can't take it, but it's gone backwards and kicked straight out into Titus, I think, Clem from University. And eventually, after a very scrappy set of phases, ball's knocked on, and the referee says, game over, lads. And in a very, very, very... I can only say the word scrappy. There's not a lot else to say. Harlequins come away with a win, but the conditions were not great for good rugby, and the teams really didn't do themselves any favours by trying to throw a lot of long passes, particularly in that channels close to the scrum. There was a lot of balls from both teams that didn't make it to the hands of the first receiver. So in the 90th year celebrations, Uni won this match earlier in the season, but Harlequins have been able to come back and win it today. We will shut up shop here for a moment. We won't close the stream down though. We'll do a bit of work with our camera gear and our setup to turn around, and we'll bring you the rest of the match between Taroona and Glenorchy. Probably in about 10 minutes time we'll start streaming there. So stay tuned. You don't need to change channels, and we will come back to you very soon. All right, welcome back. Second game of the day, and we are ready to rumble. Second half, Taroona versus Glenorchy. Scores correct up on the screen. Whoops, sorry. And we're away. Taruna with the kickoff this half. They're currently 3 tries up. And Chaperone Tucker goes over his head instead of trying to take that one on his chest and knocks it forward and gives away an easy one to the Stags, who will take the scrum just inside Taruna's half. I'd love to be able to put some points on the Stags. Whether they will or not, well, that'll be left up to them. Checking players out on the field. Try and get a bit of a lineup for you for Glenorchy. Listed players in Rugby Explorer. Not quite what we're seeing out there. Michael Lovell in the front row today. First time this year we've seen the fly half out there for Glenorchy. Michael Bain running out in that position. And they drive forward. Ball comes and Bain runs around to the right. He's got Whitney on his outside wearing the number 12 today. Ty Hart out at fullback. Looks like Josh Pepera out on this wing and got a bit of a limp. And Chaperone Tucker this time takes it low, and he loves a bit of space, but he's well tackled out there and drives forward. Liam Ryan, I think that is, possibly. Try and work out who's who. Might be Chris Russell. Anyway, the ball comes back. Taroona go deep. Kazarine kicks long. Hart's back there, and again, he'll like a bit of space. He slows and goes for the big boot. Gets onto a bit of a torp, doesn't quite get onto it nicely. And Eves is back there, finds Chaperone Tucker, who kicks a bit aimlessly, really. And Noah Whitney takes it. He's tackled very well and gets it to ground. He releases it and then grabs it back again. Bain drives forward. Another pick and drive. Towie needs to release for Taroona. Eventually does. Now Fahu. Highland in at halfback. Gives the ball out. Got to be careful of the high tackle there. Number 5, Anthony Lean for Taroona. Maybe a arm over the shoulder a little. Stayed away from the neck and head though. Bain. Lovell. No one behind in that second row of runners though. Everyone in a straight line. And Ford takes it. And Glenorchy maintaining possession. Hart. And there we've got 2 Taroona players down. Been a head contact, I think, with those guys in the middle of the field, and we're going to stop play. Just see what happened there. We'll catch it very shortly. It's Aidan Fenny for Taroona and someone else is in this tackle. Aidan Fenny and maybe that's Tanaka Harrison with a head clash in the middle of the field there, and Harrison's still down. So not good out there. He's copped Aidan Fenny's the top of his head to the chin, and he's out cold, I think. Just a quick rundown on the scores for this match so far. So Leon Tuivasa, Anthony Lean and Jonty Savoury for Taroona are the try scorers with 2 conversions from Kazarine. While we're also having a little bit of a break here. Good to see Harrison's on his feet now. They're just going to slowly manage him off the field. Bit of ice pack to the head. Other games around the grounds. We just saw the match that we just provided to you moments ago. Harlequins coming out winners there, 19-12. Harrison's being replaced by Enzo Balducci out there. Up at Devonport, the game we were intending to stream for you today is reasonably close as well. Devonport are on 14 and Launceston 23. And out at Hutchins War Memorial Oval, Burnie have come down the highway to play against Hobart Hutchins Lions, and Burnie yet to score, and Hobart Hutchins Lions on 8. So that's probably a bit of a surprise, but that's 4th place versus 5th place on the ladder, that match. So not surprised in some ways that it's a close one. But if the Tigers can pull off a win there, that'll make them one step closer to making the top 4, which is how to get into finals for the end of the year. So we'll come back to the match here after that stoppage, and it's a scrum to Glenorchy. So Highland with the put in. He's got forward out on the wing behind him. Bain, Pupera running in on a shallow line, and Savoury for Taruna taking a nice low tackle. Pressure at the ruck. Ball spills out to Glenorchy. Bain with a little canter again. We see he's done it 3 times. Every time he's had the ball. Little bit of a jump, looking to put a bit of a step on. Now Fahu, he does it too, but doesn't get very far. And the ball comes back though. Highland finds Lovell. Hart to the other Hart. He's wrapped up. But the Stags looking good with the ball in hand. They need to find someone who can break through this defensive line. And Anthony Lean comes up hard and cops a fend with a forearm, and he's down. Bit shell-shocked. Now Bain looks for a kick. It's long. Chaperone Tucker needs to let this one bounce. He wants it to go dead. He doesn't let it go dead, though. Instead, he runs it into an interesting position. He's very fast, Chaperone Tucker. If he can get through the defence, he's got some support with him. He doesn't use it, though, but does really well as he goes to the breakdown. Eves then looks for Kazarine, dishes it off, and he finds his winger outside him. And look out, Taruna now on a bit of a rampage. Lovell will steal that. No, he gets his hands taken away just by Savoury. Now Bird gives it off to Eddington. He was through here. Jordan Eddington very fleet of foot off that left step, and through he goes. So really good pressure period there from Glenorchy, absorbed by Taruna. And Taruna end up going through and putting on a try, really against the play. Glenorchy have looked really good this half so far, but lost possession with that kick. And I thought George Chaperone Tucker gathering that ball way down deep instead of letting it go dead was not a good play. But in the end, turned into a 5-pointer for the Penguins against the play. And Kazarine will have a shot at goal for the 2 points from directly in front. So some good play by Glenorchy, looking to exploit some cracks in the Taroona defence, but they couldn't find it. And in the end, some nice hands, and again, good decision-making by Scott Eves, the halfback. Conversion's good. Taroona halfback to get that quick ball out off the ruck where Chaperone Tucker was tackled and dished it out, and really nice hands by Noah Kazarine to draw and feed. Releasing Callum Blowfield down the sideline. And he was well tackled in the end. And Michael Lovell, I thought, was going to peel for the ball, but Savoury for Taroona just got there in time. Was able to hold Lovell's hands off that ball. And then the recycled ball from the ruck to Jordan Eddington, who had a little bit of space and some flat-footed defenders, and he just skipped his way through. Ended up running 35 metres under the post. Ty Hart with the kick. It's a nice one. He's going to put it into the hands of Robert Clayton, the hooker for Taroona. Reece Watts receiving that ball off the ruck, giving it to Finney Toway. Oliver Bird throwing a wonky pass to the ankles of Noah Kazarine, who drops it cold. Not a good one there from Bird. Playing his 100th game. Actually, this is probably his 101st game now. He did play in the Division 2 game before this one for a very short amount of time. So he's chalked up his 100th and his 101st game today. Congratulations to Ollie. Very popular guy around the club and around rugby, and certainly has put a lot of effort into supporting junior rugby in the south of the state as well over the last few years. Very spread set out of backs here from Glenorchy. You can't see them. We'll zoom out and see. You can see the number 22 Josh Papera, and that's Drew Horton right in front of us, right on the line here. He'll be looking to create some space. A great scrum from Taroona to drive back, and Howland runs around to the right, but is taken. And the ball's won, so good work in there from Taroona. And they run away up the line. Cody Hall now with the ball in possession. And Taroona nearly make it back to the halfway. Clayton in the blue headgear. High into contact and well supported there by one of his teammates behind him to drive him on. But the ball's been turned over. Seb Smith there takes that one. And Glenorchy, nice play at the ruck. End up stealing that one from the Penguins. Hart throws it wide. Bain, a flat ball to Papera. Flings one out to Whitney, who's got a bit of room, and he's got some pace. But he's well tackled by both Bird and Blowfield and just can't hang on in the wet. We're going to come all the way back to the other side, though. Taroona going off their feet at that ruck. It's a nice ball from Papera to find Whitney out there. He flung it pretty high, pretty soft. Whitney was just running into that space nicely, but the tackling, the combined defence there from Blowfield and Bird just hammered Whitney, and he lost that ball. So the tap comes. Lovell doesn't get through the line, just makes it through a couple of defenders, but he's hung on to. Now Hart takes a bad pass, and Hall will have a bit of a run. He finds Kazarine with good talking out there. Bird now puts Chaperone Tucker into a gap, and he's got some pace. Not enough, though, to get past Josh Papera. Great defence from Papera. Thought that the young speedster from Taroona might have got away, but Papera way too good in defence there. And Taroona now slow it down. Kazarine standing very still there, not sure where to go. And Towie runs through a couple of tackles. Manages to just roll that one back. Not a lot of numbers out here. Kazarine decides to kick, which is probably not the best of options, but it hits the deck and it's taken out there. Taroona, have they got numbers out wide? I don't think so. Kazarine takes that pass, but eventually taken to ground, and look who's over the top of him, that the bald head and the beard. Michael Lovell earns himself and his team a penalty, and he will take the kicking duties and rake the ball out of here. Fine touch, 10 metres or so from halfway. Michael Smith for Taroona there about to come on, and Harry Thomas as well against his old club. Stags have looked good whilst maintaining possession this half. They just are missing a bit of a punch when they get to the gain line. Taroona's defence is very solid, and they just haven't quite looked like they've been able to break that defensive line. Ball goes way over the back there in the line out and is knocked on by Glenorchy. Eves knocked it on there, but seems to have been missed. And Bird now thinks that the kick's the way to go. Blowfield, though, loses it, and knock-on advantage gone from earlier. So we will come back for the scrum to Glenorchy, and another substitution happening over there. Cody Hall limping from the field for Taroona, and he's replaced by Jacob Cooper. Just lose the effects mic for a little while there's a conversation going on very close to it. All right, eventually we get here and we'll set this scrum. Highland there in the number 6 and the upside down 6 on the back of Scott Eves for Taroona. Or is it Howland who's upside down? Who knows? Scrum wheels around. Highland really struggling to get that out. He has got it though, and the ball's on the deck. And Taruna have got a great opportunity with a counter ruck here to win this. And they seem to have, they've managed to do that. It was a really awkward position for Glenorchy where the ball went to ground with Highland, because his team had no way to get around the back of him. They were all already in front of him. And Taruna, all they had to do was step forward. Here, Andreessen Tuivasa loses it on the deck, puts his hands out and says, what? So he probably feels that it's been pulled out of his hands, but much like the game that we watched earlier, the ruck and the breakdown here is messy. Certainly a lot cleaner here, but in this kind of weather, there's a lot of hands in the ruck and a lot of stuff going on at the breakdown. Makes a tough job for the officials to adjudicate, but they've got it covered. So the kick there coming from Glenorchy and going out. Taroona will have the line-out throw. Thomas looks for Savoury. It's a wonky throw, and Eves can't take it. He knocks it on, and a player in front of him, not sure who it was, kicked it back to him from an offside position. So the penalty's going to go to Glenorchy. So not quite thinking straight there, whoever that was after the knock-on came. And Lovell will put it into touch and give his team another crack at it inside Taruna's half. 26-0 currently the score. Another quick check around the grounds. So there are 2 other matches happening at the moment. Burnie have put on a try, so it's a 3-point game out at Hutchins War Memorial Oval, with the Lions just in front by 3. And it's close up at Devonport. The Bulls on 19 and the Tigers 23. So Launceston just having a short, narrow 4-point lead against the Bulls at home for Devonport. And they're always tough finishes, the Bulls up there. So that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on, to see how it finishes. Meanwhile, back at the rugby in front of us, Scott Eves is going to put this ball into a scrum for Taroona. Rain's falling very steadily, and Kazarine with the left boot kicks one upfield. The wind catches it, and it's going to land in front of forward. And nearly, but offside there. I think Jacob Cooper, possibly the one who nearly got onto that ball. And the quick tap comes, but not taken appropriately. And the new laws are, if you don't tap the ball correctly, you lose it. We used to see those taken again. But in this situation, Craig Gardner, the referee, he knows what's going on. And ball's not tapped appropriately. So you lose it. That's the lack of release, I think, Howie Highland there. It's not rugby league where you just have to touch it to your foot. You must actually kick that ball, which involves it touching your foot and being released. And Noah Whitney coming from the field. Michael Lovell will be happy with that. He's out of the front row. It's a pretty menacing looking backline out here for Glenorchy. Bain, Lovell and Papera. It's a very formidable looking pairing in the midfield. Sorry, trio in the midfield. And it's a good drive from the Stags, but comes out. Kazarini goes the same option with the kick again. Same location as last time. The wind grabs it and it goes out on the full this time. So no joy for the Penguins down that side. And the wind, it's not strong. You can see, you can probably see the rain blowing in at that angle. So every time Kazarin just kicks one of those sort of soft balls, the wind's picking it up and holding it up. And that time it's held it up and pushed it out over the sideline. Stags tap that line-out ball back, but Reece Watts is onto it. Harry Thomas. Ball stolen there. There's the ruck had formed but just dissolved, and the ball was left sitting there. So free for Glenorchy to pick that up. And some good contact in there from the Penguins. Again, messy work at the breakdown from both teams, but Taruna trying to drive that one back. Eventually it comes out. Russell, I think, with that ball for Glenorchy. And have a look. Lovell dishes it off to Pepere. Lovell always draws the defenders. Took two of them onto him that time, which gave Pepere some space. And now the penalty comes against the Penguins, and the Stags have got a great chance. Ripped out and turned over and will come back. So Stags with their tails up. And the tap correctly this time by Highland sees Hart taken down. Lovell coming in now, wanting to take control of this game himself. We see him do it oh so regularly. And another penalty. And the Stags are close here, and they've scored, I think. Yeah, definitely a try. Can't see who that was. Looks like Chris Russell, I think, out there. Flings it up. There's some lovely red rope in the way of our camera. But great work there by the Stags to come away with the try. Just work really hard at the breakdown. Here he goes, number 18. Takes 3, 4 with him, and gets the ball to ground, and he's very happy about it too. Kent Williams, I apologise, Chris Russell. It's Kent Williams. I should remember that. He's a tough player. I love watching Kent. He goes about his rugby very well. Very hard worker. But the conversion's no good. So the score will stay at 26-5. Lovell with the drop kick. No kicking tee coming for him. Okay, the return kick to come from Kazarin. Forward pack splits across the field. Then he kicks it deep, and again held up in the wind. And here we go, try scorer Williams. Now Fahu receives the first one, goes to Hart. And some good defence there from Smith from Taroona. There's some numbers out here for the Stags though. Taking it in. Can't get it out wide and release the winger. So they go back the other way. Lovell met by, again, a number of Taroona players. Struggles his way. Makes a few more metres while he's in contact. Now Fahu gives it off to Hart, who nearly slips his way through, but flicks it back. And Taroona might hold this up. No, ball goes to ground. Glenorchy need to drive over. And they do. Again, holding possession, but not really making any ground here, the Stags. And Bain decides he's going to kick it. There's no one back there, but Shapper and Tucker reads it nicely. can't quite field it. And he needs to pick it up. And, oh, dear, he's tried to tap it on. Nothing going right back there for Chaperone Tucker. And just couldn't quite gather the kick, sorry. And then everything went wrong. Just got the panics, did Chaperone Tucker. He misses it to first place, tries to grab it again, and it stays down low. Then it goes through his legs. And he sees Blowfield out there, and he tries to tap it on, and it goes forward. So, bit unfortunate there, but great pressure from the Stags. Looking to score again down here. Got the advantage of the breeze. It's not a strong wind now, but it certainly is impacting on it, making Kazarin's job to kick difficult. Bain finds Lovell, and he's just taken down in midfield. Come back. And the Stags again driving, making Taroona work hard in defence. Hart now. Solidly hit low by Towie, and Taroona need to be careful here. There's been a lot of penalties. A lot of penalties down in this defensive area for them. And Kazarine's going to be spoken to as presumably the captain of the day. And he will tell his team no more penalties. Highland looking for the tap here. And he goes one way, looks for Hart the other, who's got Lovell running around the outside. They find Forward, who just runs into Jacob Cooper. And they will recycle it out on the very far wing. Stags now throwing it in. Chris Russell, I think, there in the number 5. Cops a boot from his teammate in the face for it. And Lovell picks and goes blind. Not Lovell. Must be Bain in amongst that. He goes blind. Ball just falls loose. Smith gets knocked down, and we got an offside play here. No, we're going back for a knock on. So scrappy work at the ruck. Finney Towie there after that ball, I think, created the knock on, and before he went off his feet, managed to grab possession and push it back. So Taroona had that on their side. In the end, referee Gardner was right on the spot and saw exactly what happened, and he's called it a knock-on against the Stags. Really got the momentum, all the momentum really this whole half, Stags. We're talking about nearly 30 minutes of rugby, and Taroona have scored a try, but it was really against the play, and the Stags have looked really good. Just persistence and holding on to a Bird receiving that and going with the kick. I think Smith being penalised there just for breaking off the scrum early. He realised he'd done it and pulled back, but penalty comes and Taroona will have an opportunity to clear. Pretty uneventful half so far. Just the one try to Taroona and the one try to Glenorchy. Taroona's defence has been mostly very solid. No line breaks from Glenorchy, but that's not how they're looking to play. Certainly using their muscle to make steady metres. Okay, ball comes now to Eves. Bird at first receiver, gives it to Kazarine, and he's got Eddington. And he finds Tuivasa outside him, who throws a pass over the head of Chaperone Tucker, who wasn't really expecting it. But Blowfield grabs it and decides back infield's the way to go. And some good counter-rucking in there from Glenorchy. But there's hands in the ruck for sure there, I'd have thought. The ball, when there's a ruck, players involved in that ruck can't pick it up. We've got an advantage to Taroona, I'm not sure what for. And Fenny takes it for a run. Some loud yelling somewhere out there on the field. I think Taruna wants the ball out wide. Kazarine dumped on his backside. But Cooper takes it through, nearly slips away. Heavy pressure on Eves, who's slow to get up. And Michael Smith for Taroona takes it in. We are coming back for a penalty. Taroona players down all over the place. That was back at, I think, hands in the ruck back there from Glenorchy. So it looks like Bird on his back. Eves on the other side. I'm not sure what happened to Eves. He copped some pressure. Interesting tactical advice out there coming from Matthew Sproul to Taroona. Haven't seen a lot of Matthew Sproul this year. I think he's wasn't playing earlier in the year, but has come back to join his old teammates. And Eves has come from the field. What else are we seeing? Another substitution. Just a slow. Not sure who that is. Someone has come on for Taroona. Looks like a front rower. And some time wasting. I'm not sure why that was permitted to, like the play was called to start when there was a substitution that was called from the assistant referee on the far side. Definitely confusion there, but Taroona are not happy about that. But in the end, Glenorchy have won the penalty. And be interesting to see how this play goes. So another penalty advantage there, not releasing the player, I'd say, as he goes to ground. So Taroona need to sharpen up their discipline. Bain flings it out to Papera. He's got Williams out there who does a little bit of a shuffle. Steps back inside. Glenorchy's try scorer there. Ball knocked out under pressure and picked up. Driving forward. Solid hit there by Towie. Staggs now trying to make metres, and Hart bustling his way, getting 2 metres over the gain line there. And the ball flung back there to Smith. Bain, he's got Hart outside him. Doesn't go for it and he loses it. So the penalty, no advantage. And the Stags will have another crack at it. Sproul taking control. Taps the ball, but doesn't tap it until the players have run past him, so he has to go himself. And he's taken to ground. And the ball will come now to Bain. He goes to Papera, who drops it. And now Taroona have got some space in front here. Bird gives it off to Blowfield. Blowfield gets inside Hart. He's going to be tracked down behind. Gets inside. Now, the chase is on, but Blowfield's quick, and he's got a great stability as he does that. Looked for certain that he was going to be tackled and ended up slipping through between the Stags. Beeline for the posts, and Blowfield puts on a great try there. Again, Taroona against the run of play. Good vision here from the Penguins to pick that ball up, and a nice draw and feed there. Here it is. Hart needed to make that tackle, and again there, see number 22 out there for Glenorchy, looking to put on a big shot. Papera, instead of getting his body height down and slowing down Blowfield. And in the end, Blowfield, the step off the right foot was too good. And 5 points go the Penguins' way. So disappointment for the Stags. They've been really good. Put a lot of pressure onto Taroona. But all it takes is that one turnaround. Papera dropped the ball. And then his effort to get back and defend wasn't able to stop Blowfield. And the Penguins put another 7 points on. Hopefully that doesn't kill the spirit of the Stags with 5 minutes to go, maybe a little bit more. We did have a couple of stoppages. Stags really want to finish this game on a positive note. And hopefully for them, put on some more points. As just again, looking at the other matches, still a close one between Hobart and Burnie. The Lions with a narrow 3-point lead. Scores out there 15 to the Lions and 12 to the Emus. Up north at Devonport, where we often talk about a fast finishing Bulls. Launceston have streaked out ahead there and now leading by 21. It's 40 to 19 after that was a 4-point ball game not long ago. Meanwhile, Kazarine chips one down inside the 22 and forces Hart to rush a kick, but he does all right with that in the end. Throws it back. There's a net win there to Taruna in field position. Now with a line out inside Glenorchy's half. Less than 5 to go. Also, another match that was played today between Launceston and Burnie. I think up at Burnie that game. No, it was played, maybe it was played at Launceston. Playing out a draw. No, that's not right. We've got the wrong round. I'll try and find you the reserve grade scores from today. It's not those ones. It's these ones. Launceston against Taroona in the game before this. Came away 7-point winners. So Taroona beat Launceston in Division 2 last week, and this week the Tigers turned that around and came back as winners. And Burnie played against Easts down here and won 59 to 13. That ball thrown out in front there. Lovell unable to grab that one on the ground. Disappointed. Had a little bit of space there. Ball nearly bounced for Bird in a bit of a gap, but it stayed low. Lovell tried to get his hands on it, but couldn't. Getting close to the end of the game. Players getting weary, but it's just very quiet out there now. The wind seems to have gone out of the sails of the Stags, who are looking really good early. So Taroona ball. Push their back line very much out to the left. Scrum collapse there. Well done by Eddington at the back. And ends up stolen. Thought it. The penalty will come against the Stags, and Eddington goes the quick tap. You look for a gap through. He flings a pass out to his backs, and some nice work out here from Shapper and Tucker, but that one's deemed forward. Just a draw and feed. He's not happy about it. Blowfield, the recipient of that pass. It's just a little draw and feed pop pass there from Shapper and Tucker. It was deemed to be forward. Just watch the quick tap from Eddington. And this pass here, yeah, you can see Blowfield had to reach out a little bit for it. I think it looked, he had the ability to get it back there. The slow pass just pushed forward. And Stags with the scrum inside their 22. So ball again dropped out there by Taruna. Goes out. Oh, was it dropped? Was it kicked? Very hard to pick it from this far away. Little grubber, attempted grubber through. It's kind of almost the lazy play at this end of the game. Maybe lazy's a bit harsh, but just coming into the end of the match and not sure what to do, so looking to put that kick through. Ball goes over the back. Smith can't take it. Towie can. Not sure what the indiscretion was there from Taruna. Maybe too many numbers in the line out. Not sure. Rain just continuing to fall here. Good kick. Good touch finder. With 41 minutes on our clock. We'll expect the game to be over very shortly. This may be the last play. So it was only a free kick there, so that ball goes to Taruna, and Watt's the only one to jump. It's a bit of a roll along the ground, and Lagrange throws it out to Kazarine, who can't take it. Ball gets chipped through. This will give Glenorchy a shot at it. Forward can't take it though, and that's full time. So on a rainy, wet day, Taruna come away with a solid, but I don't know, not utterly convincing win. 33-5. It was all the Stags in the second half, really, possession-wise. They had the ball a lot. Taruna couldn't get their hands on it. When they did, eventually they were able to put on 2 tries, but it was really just from turnovers against the Stags. Anyway, with all this rain, we're going to have to pack up and get out of here. Thanks for watching. It's been a bit of an epic day out here of rugby, with the weather not being great for both matches, particularly the wind, but we'll call it quits there. So next week's a bye round for men's rugby. You won't see any rugby on the stream next week. And the week after that, who knows where we'll be. But we'll be bringing you some live rugby again in a fortnight's time. And we'll call it a day. See you there.